Welcome back to Partners in Progress, your small town, hyper focused business, small business entrepreneurship podcast. Today we are here with Addie Corder
Yeah.
of Downtown Asheboro Incorporated, and we're here to talk about everything Downtown Asheboro related. So, what the Downtown DAI, as it's called, Downtown Asheboro Incorporated, does for the Asheboro community and Asheboro business community, and how they facilitate things here in the small town of Asheboro, North Carolina. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, introductions, if you want to go, Addie.
Yeah. Gosh, I don't even know where to start.
I guess who you are, what you do.
Who I am, what I do. Okay, I can do that. I don't feel like I need to say my name. You already said my name is Addie, but in case I do, I'm Addie, and I have been working with Downtown Asheboro for 3.5 years. So I am originally from Randolph County, and graduated high school in 2015. Went to Western Carolina for college. Graduated with my undergrad. Stayed and got my master's degree, and after 2 years of that, I moved to Fayetteville for 2 years, worked as a land use planner, and then the Downtown Asheboro job came open. So I applied for it and came back home, which has been really cool. So I've been here since 2023. And Downtown Asheboro is really a concentrated effort in making downtown thrive. There's a lot of things that organically happen to make a downtown great, but there's also a lot of windows and opportunities you can miss without some strategy. And so that's what Downtown Asheboro is all about, is just kind of orchestrating that organic opportunity behind the curtain.
I see. So, what is your role at Downtown Asheboro Incorporated then?
I'm the executive director of Downtown Asheboro Inc. And I'm an employee of the city of Asheboro. So we work under the operation of what's called the Main Street program through North Carolina Department of Commerce. So we're one of 75 communities across the state that have this designation as a Main Street community with the goal of doing very intentional steps to foster a really
to help
vibrant
thrive a downtown community.
Yeah, and it's historic preservation based economic development, because there's a lot of historic
There's
architecture.
a lot of that around here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm employed by the city, but I work with the Downtown Asheboro Inc. board. So it's a 501c3 nonprofit. It's a non-board.
So Downtown Asheboro Inc. is a 501, 503?
501c3.
501c3.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a nonprofit, fully.
Yes, but I'm an employee of the city.
I see.
So the nonprofit exists and has a board, and I am just kind of like the staff liaison to the board.
I see. And how many people do you have working under you?
Just me.
Just you. So
Yeah.
you're the main head. You do everything.
I'm the one-man band
Downtown
of
Asheboro
sorts.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. All right. So so obviously there's the city of Asheboro.
Right.
And that's a government entity.
Yeah.
How does Downtown Asheboro Incorporated facilitate downtown Asheboro development under the city?
So it's kind of two branches, and I'm just standing in the threshold between the two. The city is your nuts and bolts downtown, so your things like your farmers market, your recreation facility, the Sunset Theater, Bicentennial Park, the flower pots you see hanging on the power poles when they come out, and things like that. Your other things, water, sewer, all that fun stuff. And then, but it also, downtown is one of those spaces that's kind of both publicly and privately maintained at the same time. It's not like the Sportsplex that's all owned by the city. It's not like a residential neighborhood that's, controlled by an HOA. You've got public assets and you've got private assets all kind of right on top of each other. So the nonprofit arm is meant to kind of bring together those downtown stakeholders, the property owners, the business owners, residents, community partners who are really invested in downtown, to bring that private investment in. So you have to have both for downtown to really work. It can't just be government investment, and it can't just be private investment. You really need both for it to move.
You kind of facilitate community involvement between businesses and people, so personal and private and government, and you're kind of the cornerstone of all those things?
Yeah, I think that's a good way to describe it. I often tell people I'm standing at like a 50-part intersection, just directing traffic.
You're just like, go this way, go that way.
Yeah, and every day is a little different.
I guess Adam's the one that connected us with you.
Yeah.
Adam from the Chamber of Commerce. He's the president or CEO. How do you work with the chamber, or like you differ from it as you work with more people than businesses, right? Or is it kind of all?
We're not a membership org like the chamber is. The chamber,
Mhm.
I think, is a 501c. It's a 4 or a 6. I can't remember. But so we're not like a membership base in that way, but we operate with some similar functions. You know, the chamber's focused on Asheboro and the county at large, and is focused on making the community really good place for business. And Downtown Asheboro Inc. is really focused on downtown specifically, and,
Just
and
this area.
strategy around uplifting downtown, reinvesting in downtown, and really sinking into that quality of life that makes downtown really special. So there's a hyper focus on downtown,
I
and we
see.
don't really do work outside of the downtown district.
Nice.
Now, the when we were actually at the chamber meeting 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, we met a member of the city of Asheboro who was talking about a proposed plan for providing funds for people trying to update their buildings in Asheboro.
Yes, so that's
And
a city of Asheboro
maybe
grant.
I'm saying that wrong, but
No,
I
that's
don't
a
want to
fair.
give somebody ideas.
So I think
that,
it was probably Nate, our grant administrator at the city of Asheboro. But the city did roll out a grant. I can't remember how many months. It's been less than a year, and it's kind of two-pronged. One is for building reuse. So if you've got a vacant space that's been sitting
Right.
empty, and then there's another one that ties back to job creation. And so downtown is really applicable for some of those vacant space. Like you
Right.
think about second story spaces that are sitting empty, some maybe more dilapidated structures that just need a little bit of love. So that grant program is really great for that, and is a great small business incentive that sometimes you just can't find anywhere
Right.
else because you're either too small or you really aren't investing the number of capital that the federal or state government is looking for, things
Right.
like that. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
But I kind of am a advisor for anyone in the downtown district who's interested in applying, kind of walk through some of the historic preservation stuff.
Right.
And also just kind of advocate
Because
for.
there's a way that you have to go about doing anything business related in downtown Asheboro because of that historical preservation. There's like rules and stuff in place, right?
We don't have like a hard and fast local historic district that restricts what you do to your facades or things like that. But I think it's really important that if you're going to be downtown, you care a little bit about the historic nature of it, because that's what makes it unique. If you don't really care about that, maybe you're better suited in a new build box chain mall type situation. But I think you have to acknowledge that the historic part of downtown is what makes it attractive.
That's the charm, right?
Yeah, it's what draws people in. So
And when I was here last, we were talking to Adam about very similar, right? Is like the atmosphere of downtown Asheboro
I think
is
that's
so
how we
much
got
different.
to getting you on the show.
Yeah.
Is the
Right. Is that exact conversation?
is the beauty and the charm of this
Right.
this building as well, but
Yeah.
this area, the farmers market, and actually that's something I wanted to ask. Like, what is your district? What is downtown Asheboro? Like, how far does this go?
that's a fun question, and it depends on who you ask. We don't have like a hard and fast taxed downtown district. Some communities have that. It's called a municipal service district. We don't have one. So it's not like we have this firm, fast boundary that you're in or you're out. So for me, my general operations is like, what is walkable from the center of Sunset Avenue? So you're looking
Okay.
at kind of a block or two in every direction.
I see.
So Cox Street, Academy Street, Park Street,
Okay.
Salisbury Street is a good rough boundary. Fayetteville, I guess Cox is past Fayetteville, but that's kind of a good rough boundary. The city has a city center planning area too, and there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. So tier 3 goes down as far as like where Brewski's is and things like that. But
So I guess in my mind, then, do you guys go all the way down to like the what's it called, on Worth Street, the city? Is it the city hall or the courthouse? Do you guys all go? Does that
I would say
count?
to the library.
To the
Yeah.
library.
So
Okay,
you're kind of right there at
all
the
of that,
Cox
like,
Worth
up to
intersection.
Worth,
Yeah.
and then down to Cox.
Yep.
That's a pretty big area then.
It is, and
Oh,
it is walkable. Some
Yeah,
people
that
don't
is
agree,
true.
but
it's definitely
it is,
walkable.
What's it, what, like 20-minute walk probably?
Yeah,
30
yeah,
minute
I would
walk?
say.
Yeah.
So,
So it's not that's manageable. So I guess that does count as downtown because
yeah,
that's also in my mind where all the cool buildings are. That's kind of
yeah,
where all the cool
Right.
buildings. I guess
yeah.
new
Historic
new
homes go that
buildings are
way,
also cool,
and
but
they're
but these buildings are also really cool. Like
yeah,
a little cooler than I think.
yeah,
But yeah, so that's a good area. Then.
yeah.
Do you have a figure on how many businesses are in that kind of square?
So the last time I did a count, and we're probably due for another one because
I
we're
think, but we're also included in that. Then I guess.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
you are.
We're in the middle of
Yeah,
downtown.
right off Cox Street, man.
Fox Street.
Oh no.
We're on Church
No?
Street.
Church Street.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, we're on
Oops.
church.
Yeah. The last time I did a count, there's about 750 businesses
In this
the
area?
whole area. Yeah.
In that walkable distance?
You don't.
I'm sorry.
No. Let me backtrack.
That doesn't sound right.
160. I think there's like 750 some people working.
Okay,
Okay.
Is what
that
it
makes
is.
more.
My bad.
700
My bad.
Okay, 160 sounds more right.
Scratch that. That was off record.
That-
No, it's somewhere in the like the 160
Okay.
range, and there's like
But
it's
that's still a lot.
That's still a lot of businesses to be slammed
in
right
a what,
into
2
downtown
square
Asheboro.
mile radius?
yeah, and it's
Dang.
kind of like I compare it to an industrial campus as far as the amount of people coming in and out. Like you have Technomark and some of those other places. We're just like a major combination of multiple small businesses that equate to one of those large campuses.
I
Right.
see.
So it's an economic development engine in its own right downtown.
I guess that's a good next point to bring up, but that is of fairly recent, correct? That you've seen
Yeah.
this kind of revitalization, and we talked about this with Adam.
Yep.
He wasn't here when that happened, but obviously a lot of people have been since. So, and Scott actually, yeah, Scott was talking about this. I can't remember, all the episodes blend together, but Scott said right after the financial crisis, this place was kind of like a ghost town.
Yeah.
And
even a little bit before.
Since then, it's gotten much more vibrant and lively. And you look at what Sunset looks like now, and even beyond Sunset, all these small other businesses. It's looking a lot. It's incredible. Like
Yeah.
it's a super vibrant. People come here from other places, community, and has Downtown Asheboro Incorporated had a big component in that? Or is that more of an organic thing that's just naturally happened
I would
as time has
say
gone on?
Downtown Asheboro Inc. was created in 2020.
So you guys are
But-
new.
Yes, but before there was an official organization and we applied for that Main Street designation
Yeah.
through the North Carolina Department of Commerce, the chamber had a committee that was dedicated to downtown vibrancy, and that committee met for like 20 years. So I think downtown in 2000 was like empty mill buildings.
Yep.
You came downtown to talk to your attorney or maybe your insurance agent or maybe to donate something at the CUOC thrift store when it was on Sunset Avenue. There weren't really a lot of restaurants. There was maybe one coffee shop,
I can't imagine that now.
Yeah.
Thinking about it now,
Right.
but wow.
It was, so I would say in the city turned Bicentennial Park into the park that it is now in the late 90s.
What was it before?
It was a rail yard. So the
Oh.
rail runs through the middle of town, and it was where they would change out carts and
Yeah.
do all of that good stuff. So it was just this really ugly rail yard in the middle of downtown.
that's why there's rail running
Yep.
through it now, and that's why that mill building is probably there, right?
Yep.
Huh. didn't know
And
that.
so they did that in like 96, 97, I think.
Wow.
They did the Sunset Theater in around 2008. They did the Sunset Streetscape, so burying the power, making it prettier, all of that good stuff in late 90s, early 2000s. There was a lot of public investment and public dreaming from city council and other
I
members.
guess that's set it up for what it
Private
looks like now
investment.
today.
Yeah. So, and also alcohol.
Yes,
Was a
2008,
big-
right?
2008, 2009.
Is it still prohibited? Like, there's a sign out there. I park like right in the farmers market area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a sign that says "No drinks beyond this point."
So that's a social district. We
Is
have a
that-
Zoo
Yep.
City social district.
Is that so? It's still dry.
No, you just can't take your open container that you
Right.
get from.
Oh, so that's
No,
nothing
like
to do
if,
with the county.
if you were to
selling
go
alcohol.
down here where the bars are, you
Yeah.
could carry your
all the way up
drink
until that point.
Yep.
up until the sign.
Up until the blue
and
signs.
then a cop can be like, "Hey, no, don't do that."
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know why. I was wondering. I was like, I thought we allowed selling alcohol, but that's
do.
different. That's just
Yeah.
the social
Yeah,
district.
that's for
I
the
see.
social
Okay.
district. Yeah, but
And luckily, that rule doesn't apply to you for several more years.
Yes. 2.5 more years.
and so the Flying Pig, do you know
Yes.
their name? You know,
course.
alcohol when pigs fly. That's how they got their name.
Oh,
That's
I didn't know that.
that is why it opened. They said they'd open a
Oh.
restaurant when alcohol was brought into
So they opened
Asheboro,
in 2008?
2009.
9.
And
Wow.
that would be when pigs fly. And so when it actually happened, there you go, the flying
A
pig.
flying pig.
That's a cool
I was
story.
born in 2007.
You were born in 2007? Excuse me?
Late
Oh,
2007.
no, this all makes sense.
Oh, wow.
So I was
It's
right
been
before.
very difficult in the office to
Yeah.
adjust to us being old.
Yeah. Caleb, who does the mukbangs, he was born in 2005.
Wow.
Caleb turned 20 the other day. No, 21? I can't remember what.
I told someone I was 26 the other day. I'm 29. So I'm losing some years.
You look
Yeah.
great. So it's
COVID.
all right.
It's COVID. I'm blaming it on COVID.
But yeah, it is a strange thing to tell people that you're like 28, 29.
I was born in the 1900s. You know?
You're
Okay,
right. Born in the
I think that's
1900s.
just self-deprecating in that case. No need to say you were born a century ago.
No.
In the last century, I guess that.
Yeah,
there we
last
go.
century.
Last century, not a
See you
century
next. See you next year. See you next century.
See
all
you
that
next
good stuff.
century.
Yeah.
And
ago. Turn of
Yeah.
the 2000s.
yeah, and I don't remember who I was having the conversation with the other day, but I mean, you know, we're all still babies.
Oh yeah.
In like the grand scheme of things, like
So
28,
much
28, 29,
Learn.
18.
Yeah.
18 years old. I turned
Like
18 last December.
we're all still babies.
That's okay. That's what this show is about. It's about young people, but also old people. How businesses grow.
People.
It's about people.
Yeah.
Okay. What do I got?
I'm waiting for him to yell at me about the audio while I'm drinking my water directly into the
No,
microphone.
ASMR
I think it'll be
clips.
Yeah,
fine.
there you go.
All
That'll be,
the audio tracks are separate, so I can just cut yours out. if I
that's
need to.
insane. I can't
Yes,
believe you'd cut it out.
I would. No one wants to hear your gulping.
That's okay. We'll clip it and we'll release it later.
Okay, so I have how does DAI within this, let's call it the 2 square mile radius,
Okay.
how do you regulate business? Is that something you do at all?
No,
You don't regulate, you just facilitate people coming in, and then once they come in, you just kind of hands off, let them go.
we are champions for downtown business success. So I think we're a teammate and a partner. I don't tell businesses.
You're not a regulating body.
Right. Like you guys have never heard
of
of me before you talked to Adam. So
That's true,
I'm not
yeah.
a regulating body in that sense. But really it's helping connect business owners or help them brainstorm if they need to pivot or want to explore something different or they're thinking about expansion or maybe they're thinking about moving. Like when Bold Coffee moved, I had a lot of conversations with Morgan about
Where did they used to be,
opportunities.
by the way?
it used to be on Fayetteville Street.
They were right next to Jenna McKenzie's office,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, the building
Yep.
that kind of faces Worth Street. That's where they
Mhm.
used to be. It's Cloud Wine now, which is a
Oh,
wine bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were
Um,
there?
Yep,
Yeah.
I
she
didn't
was
know
there
that.
for a
And then
couple of years.
When did they move here? That's recent, no?
I would say within the last year.
Yeah, because
Oh, it's for sure recent. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact date.
I can go
but
back and look at
When did
my
they
bold
open?
coffee points and tell you when they moved.
Bold? I think they were open before I started my job in 20. So maybe sometime in 2022.
I see.
Yeah,
Oh.
Morgan would be a cool person to talk to.
Oh,
That'd be good. And
Uh-huh.
he's right there.
Yeah, she's right downstairs. So.
I guess I might have talked to her. There's a piece of mail because we have all the same mailboxes. I
Right.
gave her a piece of mail. I think
Yeah.
that might have been her. I do
Yeah.
not remember.
Yeah, she's
But,
great.
yeah.
But so a lot of things like that. I keep a resource guide of potential grants that are out there. So if people are looking for grant opportunities, looking for business financing opportunities, helping be a connector there. I'm kind of just like a squirrel. I just hoard all the acorns. You never know when one might come out.
So
And
this is what you were talking
helpful.
about being the person directing traffic at
Yeah.
the middle of the intersection.
Yeah.
Do you connect? Like, do you help businesses kind of understand the governing body that is downtown Asheboro or like Asheboro City?
I help them understand and navigate ordinances and regulations that the local government has, maybe some state stuff. Like the social district is a local ordinance, but it is created by state legislation that kind of gives the local government authority to do so. So if a bar has a question about, hey, can we do this? Or is someone allowed to bring their drink in from another location or do they have to
They
throw it
would
away
ask you.
outside? Yeah, I'm a good point of contact. I'm
I see.
not I'm not the only contact. If they want to make renovations to their building and they want to reach out to the building inspector, they're welcome to do so. But
You
I'm
just help
just
in that regard.
I kind of have niche knowledge about operating downtown. And
I
so I'm
see.
a great starting point if people have questions about anything. Or that's if a property owner is looking for a tenant or wants to do some improvements or is looking, they need to update the
That's
awning
just
on
your
the building.
speciality in that case,
Yeah,
I guess. Huh.
just hyper focused on downtown.
And is there a lot of opportunity, like even currently, for business owners or like people that want to start a business to come to downtown Asheboro? Or
So
there's not a ton of open space per se?
what's really interesting is when I started my job, our vacancy rate was like less than 5%. Like there was virtually
Really?
no posted for
Man.
lease space downtown.
Huh.
And it stayed like that until last summer.
Is that just because it was a lot of private deals going on? It just wasn't on the market?
There was
or
some private, like you can't, buildings very rarely, if ever, go on the market for sale downtown. Most of them are done behind,
someone that
um,
knows someone that
yeah,
I see.
yeah, you connected and they're trying to sell and you're looking to buy, that kind of thing. I think Jenna's got one property for sale downtown right now, on Sunset Avenue. But as far as leasing goes, there were just a lot of businesses who were interested who jumped in, and I just didn't have any vacant space. So some people were reaching out. Like one time there was a brewery who was like, yeah, we're kind of interested in Asheboro. I'm like, I don't have anywhere for you to go.
I see.
You
So
need 4,000 square feet. I don't have it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's just not something you can facilitate.
Yeah, I can't make it happen.
Yeah.
So that's where we look at space that's maybe sitting empty, space that's being used
Right.
as long-term storage, space that's just kind of overlooked, and seeing if there's opportunities there. But I would say last summer there was kind of a convergence of business turnover that started to happen, and some stuff sat for a little while. But I think the economy's been kind of weird, inflation's been kind
It's
of
been
weird,
funky, yeah.
Yeah.
and you're kind of seeing this K curve where like people are cutting back on what they're spending, and so they'll justify spending money on food or coffee because they've got to eat or have coffee anyway. But they may look at their closet and go, I don't need a new dress, or I don't need to go do the new home furnishing, or I don't need to walk through the antique mall and subject myself to spending hundreds of dollars on cool stuff.
Yeah.
There's like that, I don't have to go in there. But most people, they're like, well, I want to see my friends anyway, and I need to eat, so I'll just go to.
Is that why there's been an explosion of food places?
I think Asheboro is just an eaten out town, and I think we always have
absolutely.
been.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, we would go to Greensboro a lot to eat because
Yeah.
there weren't always a lot of options. But it goes back to that private investment that started after the public investment. So the Flying Pig opened in 2009-ish. The Table opened in 2013. And then Four Saints opened, I think, in 2015 as our
Yeah.
first brewery. And then we've just kind of had this explosion of, I would argue, better than average for a town of our size food offerings. Like we have some really incredible cuisine downtown.
for
Some
sure.
real incredible artisans. Like Black Lanterns cookies, insane.
To be fair, the Black Lantern menu
Insane. It's
is
incredible.
so good.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, it might be a little pricey, but everything on that menu, I would go back and get a second time.
You get what you pay for. And
That's
it is
100% true.
incredible. Incredible there.
Yeah, that is 100% true.
Yeah.
I do think that not enough people go to the
I
Black
do not
Lantern.
know what that is.
We're gonna have to get the
Oh.
Black Lantern on a mukbang video.
Yeah,
for
Chelsea
sure.
would be-
Where is that?
It is like literally in the middle of downtown on Sunset Avenue.
I know where some other things are.
It's
If you-
across from Taco Loco.
Yep,
if you know
right
where
across
Taco
from
Loco
Taco
is.
Loco.
It's right there.
It's like
Yep.
right in the middle. Yeah, you
so
should
it's
go
right
sometime.
next, like literally, almost in Bicentennial.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
her-
they've got a beautiful space.
Yeah, her
They-
sandwiches are good. Her
Oh,
desserts
yeah.
are good. Her teas are good.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
incredible.
It
This
is
a
my
one,
wife's
one,
favorite.
one lady
place.
show.
Chelsea definitely has some kitchen assistants, and she's got a staff. So I'm not sure if there's. I know she's like a expert trained culinary chef. Like she's done formal training for that, and it shows. It's delicious.
It definitely. It
gonna
is
have
so
to
good.
go.
Yeah, this
I
is
didn't
my
know that.
plug. Downtown Asheboro's website has a business listing of places to eat, shop, and explore. We're still working on our full business listing of places like you guys that are more consulting-based services, but we'll get there. But this is my plug if you want to know where to eat, drink, or hang out downtown.
Downtown Ash. What's the website?
DowntownAsheboro.com.
DowntownAsheboro.com.
You
Check
can
it
give us
out.
one of these. And
Yeah,
we'll
I'll
just
put
post
it
over the
right
front.
there.
Yeah,
Right there.
yeah.
You'll see it.
But I do think that contributes to why you see so many restaurant spaces and they're holding their own. But retail, if you've noticed, like we went from having 5 boutiques to really 1. And then there's Minkology is kind of a mixture of places that has a little bit of clothes, a little bit of home good stuff, jewelry, a little bit. Honestly, it's a really, really neat spot. And then Lolo and Co. next door, that's a spinoff of something Trotter Sewing Company does, where they take their leftover scraps and repurpose them into other things, like really cool bags and pillows. And you should go in there sometime. They have a lot of cool stuff.
A
That's
lot of
cool.
cool stuff around
Yeah.
here. Then yeah.
So retail's just been kind of tough. So
Is that also like? I guess I wanted to ask. There's also within the last 15, 20 years also on Dixie, the
Yeah.
whole like big block commercial district has grown a lot as well. Does that conflict with the stuff in downtown? I know it's like completely different niches, right?
Yeah.
Like downtown Asheboro, you come to downtown for a different thing than you would go to Dixie for. Do
think-
you guys mesh well together, you think, in
I think
terms of?
communities need both. Like, I love a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
And, Dario, their ice cream, it's my favorite.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
like to eat. So you have to have both. And that's like, people always pin the mall versus downtown against each other, because if you've seen Stranger Things, that's like the whole point.
Yeah.
In season 3, like, downtown's dying. They've built this mall. I don't think we have any like Russian spies under the Randolph Mall. Could
come
be wrong.
on.
But that's like the whole, when the malls were built in the 80s, that's when downtown started to shutter. Like, really quickly, and went from the central business district to kind of a ghost town. And the broken windows theory led to and then you have like our mills downtown, industries closing, and you had this place that was getting kind of scary really fast. And so that's where the intentional effort came in to fix it. But you need both. There are some things you can't get at downtown stores because they have niche offerings, and sometimes you just want to walk around at a Belk. But it's also really nice to support local business, local artisans, and walk into a store and know that person and know that they curate stuff that you really love. Like, there's nothing better than going into a boutique and you know that you're going to find something because you trust what they've curated, and you can't get that some places.
Okay,
At
so
big
you
box
can't get
stores.
that at a Belk or
Yeah,
I don't know what other. There used to be a Dillard's in that
yeah.
mall.
There was a Dillard's, a Sears,
Yeah.
everything, and
Yeah,
it's
the owner of Dillard's is never going to come up and make sure that you found what you needed today.
No.
Absolutely no.
no, or take your feedback on what you're looking for.
Dillard's
Right,
owner doesn't
so-
care. They're making enough money, right?
Yeah, so
That's also another thing that mall, while it's not, it used to be a lot more vibrant than it was, right?
yeah. When
So
I was a
it's-
kid, we didn't shop downtown. We went to the
Yeah.
mall or we went to Greensboro.
Yeah.
And now I try to buy what I can downtown because I just think you get better quality
It's
stuff.
a better way to spend your money,
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, and your money goes farther.
And is that something that, like, I think a lot of communities, across America have this, small, cute downtown
Yeah.
with this character, culture, and soul, and then you have your commercial shopping district.
Yeah.
Is that in every case where it's like most communities need both because that's how it brings people in, or is
Yeah.
it just a balance thing?
I think it's a balance, and I think it's a matter of telling your community story. Like, my husband's from Shelby, which is on the other side of
Where's Shelby?
Charlotte.
Yep.
It's kind of in between Charlotte and Asheville on 74.
Oh, so okay.
And I tell people that, like, your experience on 64 in Asheboro and 74 in Shelby are very similar. You come into town and the mall is like the first big thing, and then you drive a little bit farther and there's a Chick-fil-A poorly positioned in a Walmart parking lot
Yep,
that
that
causes
sounds
some
about
traffic
right.
problems.
Yep.
And there's all the usuals. There's the abandoned Kmart. There's the Sagebrush, which has been a lot of different things now. But and you go out of town, and the high school's there right before you get out of Asheboro and keep going. Shelby High School, Asheboro High School. It's the same exact feeling. But uptown Shelby and downtown Asheboro are very different stories and have very different experiences. And it's, different regions and people. But uptown Shelby is built out like a block. Their historic courthouse is on a square. Ours is more nooks and crannies. And
Yeah,
you take a
absolutely.
side venture down Worth Street to find the historic courthouse. And it's a different vibe. And so people are seeking downtowns out more. Like, when I was growing up, downtown wasn't something employers, industries, like even people relocating looking for jobs were really looking into. They were maybe looking at country clubs. They were maybe looking at box store offerings on the major highway, or how close they were to a larger city where they could find some of those things. But now industries and people are looking at downtowns and they're like, what does it have to offer? Because you just want that sometimes, and you want that place to connect and to
Yeah, that's what Jenna McKenzie was talking about. Is there's a lot of people that want to move here in the downtown Asheboro, not necessarily downtown, but also just Randolph County in general, because we're kind of in the middle of everything. It's a pretty convenient place to live.
Yeah.
I did not know all of you guys drove an hour or at
No,
least 30 minutes.
I am the shortest drive to work at 30
Wow.
minutes from High Point.
Wow.
No,
none of us-
I'm
none of
the
us-
shortest. I'm 25 minutes.
There you go. But yeah,
Wow.
none of us actually live
Yeah.
in Randolph County, which
Yeah.
I'm not a big
Or Scott
fan
does,
of.
but Scott's just our owner. Scott lives in Randleman.
Well,
Just the owner.
Just our owner,
Yeah.
just the guy that gives us a company.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, when I was going to school, it's a 10-minute drive to work, and then I go
Yeah.
home. So it was.
It's 15
nice.
for me.
Do you live in Randolph County?
Yeah, I live in Gray's Chapel, which is like
I know where that is.
yeah, Providence
My
Grove High
buddy
School
lives. My
is,
buddy lives out there. Yeah.
is where I kind of give because there's nothing out there except houses and
Right.
cow fields. But it's like an easy 15-minute drive, and it's one of my favorite things. Like when I lived in Asheville for a little while, it was a 20-minute commute from South Asheville to downtown, and it was traffic the whole way.
Yeah.
And when I lived in Fayetteville, it was like there was just a lot of traffic, and it's been so great that my 15-minute commute home, like unless I get behind a tractor,
Yeah.
like it's easy 15 minutes, and I just go, and it's like 2 left turns for me. Old Liberty Road, Fayetteville Street, and then boom.
Do you
I'm
have an
downtown.
office
I do at City Hall.
at City Hall? So
Yeah.
you're your own little department there.
Yeah, I'm a department of one. And I'm within the planning department, so they're my,
And obviously you have a board as well,
peers. Yeah, and they're really great. It's a good mix of property owners, business owners, people that live downtown, people that are just really interested. But I am a staff of one, so to speak. Yeah,
right? Ever have plans on upping that number of staff?
I would love to. I think
An assistant or two? Or
yeah, it's hard to
a
do
marketing manager or two?
everything. That would be great. Content, that's tough for me.
Yeah.
Just because it's hard to keep all the plates spinning in the air. Like
Mhm.
what I like about my job is every day is different. So one day I'm talking to a property owner about how to leverage historic tax credits. The next day I'm like, hey, new business that's opening downtown. Do you want to coordinate a ribbon cutting? Like, let's talk and let's tell you more about downtown. The next day I'm working on the summer concert series and making sure that all of that stuff is figured out. And then the next day I'm like sitting in on a city management meeting about things that are going on in and around town. And so by Friday, my brain is like at its creative end, and it doesn't always leave a lot of space for content creation and those things. Like I've had to learn that in doing a job like this, there's always the work's never done, and you kind of have to get comfortable with that like shadow sitting in the corner that's like, hey, there's more to do. So I could come up with more to do for an employee with all the things we have going on downtown, but I don't know that it's in the budget right now because every department has needs. Public safety is huge in town, and
Yep.
public works, and so I just try to do the best I can with what I have, and just really had to learn how to prioritize. And every season looks a little different.
That'd be good. Maybe an intern.
Yeah.
We're looking for a content creation intern right now. What did I say this morning?
Media production.
Media production intern.
Production.
Yeah, we're getting our
Yeah.
intern and intern.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
I do
It's the succession plan.
I do a 3-man
Yes.
job. So it'd be great if you're in college or community college of interest and you want to experience. Let me know. Let us know.
I'm
Let
sure you've-
Derek know, our general manager.
I'm sure you've thought of this, but RCC has like a whole photography program.
This is the
and-
problem. They don't do internships. They do apprenticeship.
Well,
the
they're
apprenticeship
they're
Randolph.
introducing internships.
Yeah.
Oh, and we've talked to them about it.
Yeah, I was like,
But
surely you guys
it's
thought of
slowly
this,
but surely trickling down. We'll
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But we have a very immediate need.
You have to establish the demand so they know what to do. So you're in that phase. You're establishing the
Yeah.
demand.
Right.
Well, actually, I think this episode comes out when I get back.
Yeah. So
So-
we're gonna be missing him for a month,
Okay.
and then he got accepted to UNC,
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
Chapel Hill.
so he's going to Chapel Hill, and he won't be here.
Are you still going to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll do it remotely, and we're going to have to work out scheduling. So I think this podcast actually is probably going to swap to a weekend format. So whoever wants to come on the show is probably going to be more of a, it's a weekend every so often.
So
sort
at
of
least
Yeah.
you got on early, and we got
Yeah.
you out of your workday
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I do appreciate that. So I do weekend work though, so sometimes it
Yeah,
happens. It's the beast of events downtown.
70-hour work week.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Some weeks, yeah, but
But that's the fun part of it.
yeah, and then there are weeks where there's not a lot going on, and I am in the office for 40 hours, but there's not a ton that's taking my attention all at
When's
once.
your
So,
busiest season? You
so
gotta say.
everybody thinks
Is it
it's
Christmas?
yes and no. Um, October to December is the busiest season because I'm planning for the next summer concert series. So I do the Friday night shows. We're in the middle of the busiest event season because it's fall festival, it's the Christmas parade, it's Christmas on
Yep.
Sunset, it's
Yep.
Small Business Saturday. And then you're also just like planning for the next year. Like you're wrapping down your stuff, getting ready for next year. So October to December to January 1st is kind of just a blur. And then January is your like everything's closed. Like most businesses downtown are like, we'll see how in February. Because they've survived Christmas. And then February hits and it just ramps up. And before I know it, it's April and we're right back
I
into
see.
the events and stuff.
Tax
And then
time
you're
comes and goes.
back into the
and
summer, back
Yeah.
into all the events.
Yeah, summer's not too bad. Planning events, and I don't do a ton of event management. A lot of people think that my job is primarily events, but I do the summer concert series, the Friday nights, and that's the goal of getting people downtown, getting people out and about, enjoying the social district, spending money in restaurants, all of that good stuff. And then the chamber does the Christmas events. They've been doing those for 15 years, I think. So I'm on that committee, and I help them out. And the Arts Guild does Fall Festival, but I try to help them where I can and keep merchants in the know of what's going on. But it's the execution of the event isn't so bad because it's like, okay, it's the day of the event. I've got a 10-hour workday and 12-hour workday in front of me. But planning, like finding tribute bands, figuring out what people want to hear, if they're in budget, where they're coming from, what dates they have available.
Definitely the hardest part.
Yeah, soliciting 40 sponsors to cover the cost of the thing, just getting all the vendors lined up. It's a mess. It's a lot of
You
communication.
do all of that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Find
on
the
top
food
of everything
trucks.
else she's
That's an
doing.
incredible amount of work.
It's a beast. I really find myself dreading September, and it's like once it's done, it's done. And so I just kind of have to get through it. But that's everybody's like, "Oh, I bet you're just miserable in the summer." I'm like, "No, it's when
It's
I have to
not the
start planning the
summer.
next one."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So.
mostly the fall. I guess
Yeah.
that makes the
Q4.
only quiet part of your year is probably January.
Yeah, January, February, March.
I guess
And even
that's true for a
then,
lot of businesses though.
yeah, and even then, there's still you're just in that ramping up, planning, trying to get ahead phase. So,
Always busy.
I would say it ebbs and flows with like the busy season for a downtown merchant.
Is there anything you've learned that like something you take away from like your current role? So like since you started, like
Yeah.
what's something you've learned about it and when you're busy, when you're not busy, and how to handle your workload and what's best for you?
I've gotten really good at kind of forecasting what I have capacity for because that's the reality is no business has perfect capacity to do everything that they want all the time. So I would say I've learned a lot from business owners around me, like the way that they handle busy seasons and bad economic seasons and the strategy around staffing and how to adapt and this isn't really working so we're going to try this. Like I found a lot of inspiration from entrepreneurs downtown and I've just learned like okay, this next month maybe I don't have as much on my plate with some of the projects I'm working on, so I need to be really intentional about what forecasting I can do, what things I can set myself up for success now. I keep a planner that I live by
Ooh, I see.
religiously and it is my like
Your bread and butter.
yeah, it's just like my command center. And it's like, these are the things I have to get done. And I have a rule where it's like, I have 3 things I've got to get done every day, like 3 priorities. And anything more than that is gravy. So I try and spread out my workload so that like I'm never coming in on a day and it's like, oh no, I've got 100 things to do and I'm never going to get it all done, but it's really important.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I try to frame that so the work doesn't just eat you alive. Because when you start doing something where you feel like it's never going to be complete, like it takes up a lot of your brain space and you kind of have to learn how to balance it all. And it's like my weekends, I work in 8 to 5, but on the weekends, what I want to do, I want to come and eat with friends or catch up with friends. Where am I going to do it? I'm going to do it downtown. And so I find myself
Everything's work.
yeah, like I'm going and visiting somewhere else. I'm going to see my friend who lives in Spindale, North Carolina, and we're in downtown Forest City. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I love those lights, and I'm taking a picture, or I'm looking at
Work.
the banners.
How can I improve my
yeah, like
workflow?
that's a really cool inspiration. We go to the beach, and I'm dragging my husband through every downtown that we can hit on the way.
Inspiration.
So, but I'm glad that I have downtown Asheboro and it's a place I work and it's really cool to see people I went to high school with that are working at different shops or someone my mom taught when she worked at Southwest or someone I go to
That's
church
cool.
with, someone I'm related to. Like every single interaction I have downtown, it doesn't take long to figure out like we're pretty closely connected, and that's something I was really missing when I lived in Asheville and Fayetteville. I felt like I was just kind of there, and then I would check out and I wasn't invested. But I think there's something really special about caring about the community you're working with,
Something you've
building the
fallen in love with
village.
here in Ashburn.
Yeah, building the village. But there are days where I'm like, I do not ask me to go downtown. I don't want to look at it. I want to go get coffee
Probably after the busy season, right?
somewhere else. Like, let's go check out another downtown.
I've heard enough of the word Sunset Street.
Yeah,
for a
Sunset
lifetime.
Avenue is yeah. But no, I really enjoy it, and I feel really. I didn't think I was gonna have a lot of opportunities to do the work that I wanted to do in that like long range planning,
Is this what you
community
envisioned
building.
you would be doing? What did you go to college for?
I went to college. I have a political science degree.
political science. So I
Yeah,
guess you're kind of there.
it's
maybe.
government. You know,
Yeah,
I didn't
you
know what I wanted to do. I pretty quickly ruled out that I didn't want to do global affairs. Like I
Yeah.
was not interested in that, and I really fell into that state and local government thing, and I kind of picked planning. So working in planning departments, and that's how I ended up in Fayetteville. Is they had a really neat job opportunity in long range planning, which was that community building stuff.
Mhm.
So I would say I am very much doing. I didn't know how to identify it, but I would say I'm very much doing what I want to do and
see.
love doing and feel well suited to do.
Well, that's the important thing that we've
Yeah.
heard many times now is that even in any sort of thing you want to do in your life, as long as you love doing it, then
Yeah,
Yeah.
even on the hard days, like
Good,
or the
man.
days where you're like, I'm sick of it. Still, I'm like, yeah, well, I might just swing through downtown and check on something, and or like I'll eat with my parents on a Thursday night at Magnolia because they love Magnolia, and I'm like, Dad, don't go that way. Drive through Sunset. I want to see what the storefronts look like. I want to see if there's built
I wanna
people
see
in the
progress.
businesses.
Yeah.
You know, like I want to see what it looks like when I'm not here. So it's yeah,
It's a job that you love.
it is, and it's never dull. Every day is so different.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love to hear rumors about downtown. I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. You never know, and it's something that everybody can have a piece of, and I like that too.
Oh yeah.
Stuff to share with the world, right?
Yeah, yeah, taking the world by storm.
I guess kind of touched on this. Is there any specific challenge you've overcome other than I guess you said managing time was
Yeah.
probably your biggest challenge.
The hard thing about downtown is like historic preservation is so important because you can very quickly lose character that is irreplaceable. But also, it takes a lot of time. It's hard, it's expensive. Historic buildings aren't made for modern uses. Like and you just it not only is it going to take longer than you expect, there's going to be a curveball. So on Fayetteville Street, there is what used to be Randolph Savings and Loan Bank. It's a 4-story former bank headquarters that was purchased 3 years ago now to be renovated for a hotel.
Is
So
it
it's going
that
to be
building across from the is it Capital One or Bank of America?
First Horizon.
First
Right-
Horizon.
Yeah,
right next to
it's-
Magnolia.
Yeah, it's the tallest building downtown.
Yep.
It's still being renovated?
Yes,
Right.
it's a
Yes.
historic tax credit project, and so those take a little bit longer because you have to submit your plans to the State Historic Preservation Office and the National
So it's going to be a
Park Service.
hotel?
Yes, a 40-room boutique hotel. And they're
Well, I didn't
they're-
know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they're doing a kitchen add-on so there can be a restaurant. And so the space between Magnolia and the hotel building is a vacant lot. And they've been excavating and grading and doing all of that good stuff to put the footings in for the new addition. And the other day, they found the basement to the former Capitol Theater. So downtown used to have 3 different theaters, Sunset,
Oh.
Carolina, and Capitol. And they were digging and they found the walls and the stairs to the former Capitol Theater.
So it used to be right there.
Yep. Before it was
Didn't-
torn down.
Did no one know, or did someone forget?
Okay.
A lot of things were backfilled when they were torn down. So basements were backfilled. Over next to where Bold Coffee used to be, it's now Cloud Wine.
Right.
It's a parking lot, and there were some trash receptacles out there. That used to be where the Ashland Hotel sat. It was one of the hotels downtown. They tore it down, I think, in the 80s because it was condemned. But when they were doing the parking lot, they had to do some grading work, and they found a bunch of stuff like plates and all kinds of random stuff from the hotel.
So
They just threw it in the hole.
this basement that they found, it's filled
No,
with dirt?
it was filled with dirt. There wasn't like stuff in there, but you could still see the
Where it
walls
used to be.
and the steps and stuff. Yeah, and
Is it a problem? Is it gonna be?
Well, it's just going to slow them down a little bit because
So they
they've
have to
got
get it out and then fill it back in.
they're going to
or-
have to just be really strategic with the backfill so that the footings are secure when they do the new add-on.
Right.
Oh.
So it's things like that you run into with historic buildings. They're not ADA accessible. They're not level ever in any capacity. They have really old plumbing that's probably going to cause you a problem at some point. And so it's like advocating for historic preservation and telling people why that extra headache is worth it to save. But also balancing that with growth and what we need. Because like I said, some modern uses, like buildings weren't made for,
I cannot believe we're gonna have a hotel in downtown Asheboro.
yeah.
When do you
yeah.
think that's gonna be done?
Their goal is to open next spring.
Ooh.
So
How long
yeah.
has it been under construction?
It took them a little while to get through the historic tax credit process with the National
It's been
Park
3 years
Service.
now?
He bought it 3 years ago, and then it took them some time to get the plans right because with historic tax credits, there's certain things you have to retain that feature, or you're not eligible for the credits. So I don't even know. Probably 2 years at this point. But they're making a lot of good progress. They've done a lot of demo, so that's what they're working towards.
That's gonna be really interesting. I didn't
Yeah.
That's
know.
gonna be cool.
That's
I'm
kinda the
excited
next
That's
about
right
wave.
next to the chamber too. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Learn something new every day.
and it's we have all this investment with the zoo and the sportsplex, and there's a
Yeah.
demand for more hotel opportunities. And how nice is it that you can park your car and after a long day you can walk across the street or next door to Magnolia if you want to get
Right.
something to eat, or grab a drink with friends if
Yeah,
you're
whereas
having like
right
a
now all the hotels are on
Yeah.
Dixie, right?
you can go to Kickback Jacks if you don't want to walk, which some
Right.
people love that, but some people
There's not
are
that opportunity
looking.
here.
Yeah,
so
you don't
40
have
room is
that.
actually that's
Right.
a lot of capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not a Hilton. Hilton. That's what it is.
It's not like a standard build out kind of
right.
flagship.
But that's not the point.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going to be called the Bank Hotel.
Okay.
So because they're really leaning into it being a bank headquarters, it's cool. But those are the kind of things like you just can't anticipate when you get into historic stuff. You got to be prepared that things are going to take some time, and sometimes it's hard to advocate for the historic stuff because people. One time somebody called me and they were interested in buying some property downtown, and they're like, "Well, we're not really interested in the historic stuff," and I was like, "You probably shouldn't invest in downtown then, because that's the point." That's it's part of what makes it special. If
Yeah.
you take it away, people aren't drawn to it because the story isn't there. That looks
The
really
heritage.
cool. Yeah, it's like in Asheboro. I don't know if you ever noticed, but blonde brick and Art Deco are two things that are kind of signature to Asheboro. You look at the hospital, the high school, the rec center; they
Blonde
all
brick.
have that blonde brick.
Oh.
And that Art Deco, like the front of the high school has that kind of Art Deco font
Yeah.
imprint. That's like very Asheboro. I'd hate to see somebody
I
go
never
and like
thought about that. That's so
spray paint
true.
it. Yeah. So,
That and red brick.
Mhm.
But red brick is very prominent
Yeah.
everywhere. But
but the blonde brick is just we
That's
built those
incredible.
things at the same time, I guess. And
because there's buildings. Actually, Ivy is that brick? Is that one of the buildings I want to on Worth Street is blonde brick?
It's brick, but I think it's
Is it
painted.
105?
I think Ivy is painted.
Ivy is painted
painted?
yellow.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
But it's got that look.
Yeah, it used to be a funeral home. Fun fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Used to be, there's a morgue in that. There used
Yeah.
to be a morgue in that basement or
Yeah.
something like that.
Jenna McKenzie's office
Mm-hmm.
also morgue at one point.
I think so. I think it was part of that operation.
Yeah.
That was all one operation.
It was
One
Pew
morgue?
Yeah,
Funeral
it was-
Home that kind of moved around
Yeah.
before they ended where they're at now.
Yeah, and that's on. Is that on Sunset or is that
Sunset and Park intersection.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's intersection.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's lots of funky stories downtown and buildings that have been
that's the
multiple
charm
things.
of downtown
Yeah,
Asheboro.
but you find yourself being able to relate to that and wondering what that looked like, when that business owner was operating, and what the building maybe looked like in its prime. And don't get me wrong, our history is not positive for every person in the community. Like there's a lot of stuff that people were influenced or affected by, like racially and otherwise, but it's still interesting to look at the architecture of a building and kind of be drawn to that art and craftsmanship that you just don't see anymore.
Yeah.
I've never thought about it. That's good. That's good to know. So I guess that covered a lot of my talking points. What do you hope for downtown Asheboro looks like in 5 years? What's your hope for the next 5 years? More growth or more people, more businesses?
3 square miles.
3 square miles of downtown
Yeah.
Asheboro. You
Well-
triple your workload.
The crazy thing is there's still a lot of infill left to do in 1 square mile of downtown. You walk down Sunset Avenue and look up, there's a lot of second story space that's not used. And some of that has to do with building code that's kind of difficult to navigate because there's sprinkler requirements and things
Right.
like that. But I was a part of the Acme McCurry Mill building in the middle of downtown, that sale. We sold it in June of 2024 to a developer out of Virginia for market rate apartments. And I spent a lot of time on that project, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears went into it, making it happen. And so I'm really excited to see that come to fruition and see more people living downtown. Because when you get people living downtown, downtown just evolves again. Because all of a sudden, people who are dependent on cars and visiting you during a certain set of hours, they're just downtown. I'm excited to see how the hospitality industry changes. We've got a hotel coming online. Could there be more? Could there be more Airbnbs downtown as people make Asheboro a place to be? And also just continuing to lean into really neat public art that tells our story. I have a board member who was like, Church Street could be an arts district for downtown Asheboro. And I love to talk to people who think differently than I do, because I'm like, I never thought about that, but they're totally right. The farmers market, some of the mill stuff we have going on, the table being such a great spot all on its own. Like, you've got the mural down here
I
on
was
the
gonna say,
retaining
yeah,
wall.
yeah,
There's
the
a lot
retaining
of
wall.
opportunity through here. So there's a lot of stones you can turn and just see. But I think continuing to see our historic buildings turned into new uses, but advocating for that character to be maintained, and just seeing my local community thrive and be a place that people embrace. So who knows? Maybe I'll be living downtown in 30 years when I'm ready to downsize. I don't know, but a lot of people are looking for that, and I think that's going to be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, if they put it in some decent sized apartments,
Yeah,
I would love
yeah.
to live in a little downtown area.
Sick of cars.
Ride a bike. Right.
Sick of it.
I'm sick of having to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
If I know that I have Magnolia right
I was
there,
gonna say,
I've got the
if you
table
live
right
like
here.
right around here,
Oh no, I think
I'm
I
gonna
did
throw
something.
it out again.
Or did it?
Black Lantern, they're right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to stop there on the way home now. We've talked about it enough at this point that
They're
I
not
have
open
to.
today.
They're not open today?
No.
Oh, great. Now I
Monday.
get to think about it until
Monday.
tomorrow.
Yeah, I think they might open tomorrow. It's kind of funny. I have like a Rolodex of everyone's hours downtown
Gotcha.
that I don't do on purpose in my brain, but I'm like, what day is it? Oh no, nothing's open. Nanny Mae's is open on Mondays. Blake's Half Baked is open on Mondays. Taco Loco is open on Mondays. I really do. And it's like the weird hours, like Sundays and Mondays where, maybe less is open. The Pig's open for dinner on Mondays. Oh, yep. Yep. hmm But they're not open on Tuesday. Hamilton's is open on Monday for lunch.
Great friend to know.
Yeah.
Of like when and where to go eat and stuff.
And where to park. I can tell you, like, people tell me there's nowhere to park downtown. We did a parking study recently, and we found that we don't have an inventory problem. We have a turnover problem. So cars will park in a highly trafficked area, like along the street on Church or Sunset, and they'll stay all day. And then people who just need to pop in for an hour because they're getting their hair cut or they want to grab lunch or whatever can't park in those convenient spots, and then they just kind of keep moving. So we've been doing more on the enforcement approach, but people be like, there's nowhere to park downtown. And I'm like, when I can't find a spot to park, I will believe you. But I can usually find a spot very easily because I know where to look, I guess. But it's been a fun education campaign of like, you can park, and we're enforcing time limits again in certain areas.
There you go.
A good amount of parking there.
Yeah, but if there's an event,
That's
that
true.
blocks off some of it, it's not as available. But there's also stuff behind City Hall.
Yeah.
There's lots of, and we're working on some strategic partnerships and stuff to maybe expand even some of our private parking lots to see if there's partnerships there. But yeah, you just when I can't find somewhere to park, I will believe
That's
that we
when
maybe need a parking
Asheboro
deck.
might need a parking
Yeah,
deck. I see.
Yeah.
But it'll be a nice, cute, historic parking deck.
I would hope so. I would hope it isn't
Not
ugly.
a concrete
Yes.
blob.
Yeah, I would
That
hope.
would suck.
Yeah.
I would
we
hope it
don't-
has a nice brick facade and it feels a little bit more
I was in-
approachable.
I was in downtown Winston-Salem
Yeah,
this past week, Friday. And they have a lot of the
yeah,
big blocky concrete
yeah.
parking garages.
Do you know a parking deck is like a minimum of $60,000 per parking space to build?
Really?
Yeah,
Like
minimum. Like
So 10 spots, 600,000.
Yep.
But that's not really a deck. Minimum, you need
Right.
what, like 50
Right.
spots?
So you're getting into millions of dollars very quickly with a parking deck. So at New McCreary, we're talking about this 200,000 square foot mill, and we're talking about apartments, and everybody's like, well, it needs a parking deck. But parking decks aren't lucrative to build because they're so expensive to build.
Right.
And the taxpayer doesn't want to build it because they're not necessarily going to use it all the time. The car driver doesn't want to pay for parking downtown. So, you get a lot of griping about that. And then it's like, well, the developer, they can't afford to build it either. So, what do you
So what do you do?
There's no great answer to parking decks. I mean, you hit a point where you have to.
We need great public transit. I
Yeah.
think that's something Asheboro.
Yeah.
We need a train system.
Or a cute
Listen,
trolley.
when North Carolina brings in, I'm not even just talking about Randolph County. I spent a lot of time in Japan. I lived
I'm
there
gonna
for
go
4
tomorrow.
years.
I was about to say, wow.
He's going back tomorrow. But yeah, I lived there for 4 years.
Okay.
And having public transportation on a train-based system is the best thing since sliced
Yeah.
bread. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Same.
100 times out of 100, I will choose to get on that train and I will take it across town for $3.
Yep.
And I will go do whatever I want to do and then take the train back.
Yep.
And then I will be completely happy with that. I will do that every day of the week. I will never touch it. I would sell my car
Yep.
tomorrow if North Carolina, just North Carolina, had a public train system
Yeah.
similar to how Japan
High
has their
speed
setup.
rail from Asheville to Wilmington would be
That
great.
would be sick.
You could get across in
A
4 hours.
Shinkansen
Yeah.
equivalent.
Wow.
Yeah, like even just going like if they really wanted to blow it up, if they wanted to do a Shinkansen all the way across,
America?
yeah, just a straight shot all the
That
way
would
horizontal.
be what? That's a 30-hour drive. So that would be.
But if you're going 300 miles an hour or whatever the
I think
Shinkansen
it would be
does,
I think it'd be a
like the
15-hour train ride.
Yeah.
I think it would be significantly less, but
But if you got a 15-hour train ride for
And
$50
you free up
and you
the
could
brain capacity of not having to drive.
right, and you're not having to
well, you
spend
could take Amtrak, but it'll take 4 days.
Yes.
you make
More
it
than that.
make it a nice train. The Shinkansen's beautiful. You got beautiful seats. Everybody's got
excited.
leg room.
Well,
you don't have to go through the check baggage of getting on an airplane.
Yeah.
And
have to
you
go in
don't
the
have to
air.
waste the fuel that
Yeah.
it takes to fuel an airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're cutting down so much. There is a lot of upfront cost.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And also, there's a lot of anti-train sentiment in
No,
America.
dude, bring trains back. Bring
I've-
trains
We
back.
wish, but
I went to the Eras tour in London. I guess it's been 2 years now. where
London
we
Metro. What's
stayed-
it called? The
Tube.
underground. The tube.
The tube.
The tube.
And where our Airbnb was really close to a tube station, and I was like, "This is the easiest thing I've ever done in my entire
Yes.
life. Why don't we have this? This is incredible."
Because of automotive
Yeah,
lobbying.
As a land use planner, I really hate the car industry because it ruined so much.
You know how much it would be really nice if America had developed more like, places like Europe and Japan.
Yeah.
And, we had, instead of all these car spots, not that the farmers market's bad anyway, if we would keep this,
Yeah.
but like, if you had a train station like right next to Bicentennial that
Yeah.
just brought people in from South Asheboro, North Asheboro, Greensboro, that'd be great.
And Japan would work like Japan. You'd have a town of about this size. You'd have a one train station right in the middle. It might take you 5 minutes between the last train station and this train station,
Yeah.
but you get out on that train station and you can walk anywhere you need to
Yep.
go.
Yep.
Go straight to any restaurant you want to be at. People are fighting on who's going to be closest to the train station because when you get off and you're starving,
Yep.
and you're like, oh, I'm going to go right into this place right here. People fight to get as close to that
But-
train station as possible.
That'll never happen. Not in
No.
our lifetimes,
No,
unfortunately.
not in our
Never.
lifetimes.
I don't think it'll
unfortunately.
ever
Is
happen.
that so-
Ever?
I don't think so.
Not trains necessarily, but like, is that something that downtown Asheboro or Asheboro City in general is looking to like increase, like maybe buses or like that sort of
Yeah.
thing?
So
Do you know?
downtown Asheboro in our 5-year work plan, something that we're really interested in exploring is like a trolley system. Even if it just
Ooh.
circulates downtown,
Yeah.
like there's a parking lot over there that no one ever wants to park in because it's on the
Yeah.
edge of downtown and you got to walk up and over like 2 blocks just to get to where you're going.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool if we had a trolley system running downtown, but there's a lot of cost to that. There's a lot of logistics, but if we could find a naming rights sponsor and I don't know how Partners
on-
feels
I
about
was about to
that,
say,
but
Partners
Scott, what you
trolley
doing?
system?
On the train track? Like the
Not
one that's-
necessarily on the train track. No, it'd have to be on the road.
I
The train
see.
track's
Yeah, they
owned by NS.
trolley system.
Yeah, or think like a
So have you been to High Point?
Yeah.
In right there where all the bars and restaurants are, right in that main street.
Yeah.
But right there they do the trolleys.
Yeah.
But they're
Like the San
cars.
Francisco
They're big buses, big
cars
open buses
that look like trolley cars.
Look
I
like
see.
trolleys.
So it's just
Yeah.
a look more than anything.
Yeah.
So you're not
Yes.
actually putting rails on the road or
No,
anything.
no, I don't
Because
think
that would be
we.
really expensive.
Yeah, I don't think the city
Yes.
of Asheboro would ever have the appetite for that.
The construction would take
That would be
43
millions.
years.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
But automotive trolley system to get people around, I'm very interested in, and also just looking at more shuttle and Uber-y options for
Yeah.
the
Because
zoo.
there's not a lot of that around here. There's not a lot
No.
of Uber, Lyft.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
There's Go
it's-
Randolph, which is
I don't know what
something
those-
out of so RCATS is our regional
I do
transportation
know
system,
RCATs. Yes.
and they launched
Okay.
a new program called Go Randolph. And it functions very similarly to Uber. You can call, schedule, and they will come and get you and take you wherever for $6. Like that's
Really?
the rate.
I think people should know about that. That sounds really convenient.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I did not
So
know that.
if you wanted to leave here and you needed to go to Walmart and you had a car parked in the shady spot and you don't want to lose it, you could technically use Go Randolph to go. And then I think it's $6 back. So there's I think it's one way.
But that's not bad.
Yeah, and it's a pilot program they've been running for about a year, but it adds that. They've been looking at creating what's called the Zoo City Loop to close the gap between some of our attractions and places people need to be and provide more reliable public transportation because we have the
I
park
would
bus,
love a
but
bus that comes from downtown Asheboro to the
yeah,
and then back.
yeah, and that's kind of the stuff they've been looking at.
Oh,
so
yeah.
But again, it's
'Cause, like,
public
you come
cost,
here,
which
you
is
park
always the
here.
big
Yeah.
kicker, right?
You
Yeah.
come here, you park here, hit your parking tab, right?
Mhm.
Be like, oh, I'm gonna be here all day. And you walk right down, get on the bus,
Yeah.
go to the zoo. You could be at the zoo 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to, you could be at the zoo all day. But
yeah, multiple
you know,
days.
if you wanted to go, just go through North America. You spend 3 hours there. Come back, get on your bus, come back, get some lunch.
And I think once we have residential units downtown, there's going to
Right.
be a natural demand there
Yeah.
because parking will be at a premium. You go to places like Winston-Salem, and if you find a parking spot on your block, you're like, this is a great day. I'm not
Jackpot.
moving,
Yes.
So I think when we have more residential units, people would have an appetite for that
Yeah.
public transportation at a higher demand because some people may want to get rid of their cars or they don't want to lose their parking spot. That's how it was in
Benefit
college.
of public
Mhm.
transit.
I would take the cat tran anywhere if I didn't have to
Yeah.
move my car. So
Western Carolina. I know a couple friends that are going there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if public transportation was easily accessible in Asheboro as a whole,
Mhm.
right? Not just downtown Asheboro,
yeah.
but Asheboro as a whole, I'd move here. I'd get an apartment right above the Black Lantern because they're not getting rid of me.
Well, that space has not been developed, and he's looking for a suitable tenant. So,
Oh, perfect.
be-
Just
that could
turn
be
it into
something.
a small condo for me
Yeah.
and my family.
yeah, like a new girl condo.
Yeah, they just got to be fine with my 98-pound cane Corso stomping around
there's
on
an
the floor at all
elevator.
hours.
You're fine. You're fine.
There's an elevator in that building?
That used to be. I forget what department store building that used to be,
Oh
but there
my
is
gosh.
a elevator in it
The
that
things
works.
that are in Asheboro that you don't know about.
Oh, there's
That's
lots of
cool.
elevators downtown.
There's one in that building across.
Yep,
like
right
actually,
across
it's
here,
connected. It's
the
actually that building
Ivy.
right there.
Yep.
Bill
Yep.
Ivy's building next door.
Yep. There's 2 in the hotel building I was telling you about. I'm pretty sure there's one in the other bank building.
Not all elevators are created equal. That one is not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's
That
a
No.
one's completely
a
unoperational.
There's
pull-up.
I
some
wouldn't.
freight elevators. There's some people elevators, but I would say there's probably 20 elevators downtown.
Wow.
I would.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't
Some
think there
are
was that
not
much need.
operational.
This is
But
some
they
this
exist.
is niche knowledge that needs to get out there.
Wow.
Wow. I did not know there's 20.
Yeah.
We'll start,
you think about
start
the
a
mill
challenge.
buildings that had freight elevators
I guess
in
that,
them.
yeah, that's true. Because they
So-
had to, right?
Yeah.
We need to start a challenge. See how many elevators people
How
can
many
find.
elevators can we find in
Yeah.
Asheboro, North
Yeah,
Carolina?
that's your next
downtown.
segment on Thursdays.
Today we're
Lift
finding
me up
another elevator.
Thursdays.
Lift me up Thursdays.
New series on our
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, shadiest park. Those are the kind of things I like to collect. Like, where can I park in the shade so my car doesn't get
That's
to be
shady
a
spots in
million
absolutely
degrees?
steaming hot.
Oh my
Where are the
gosh.
single stall bathrooms that I can use so I don't have to like share a bathroom with 5 other stalls of people coming in and out? Like, those are the kind of things when I go places.
This is
I like
you need
to,
a blog for this sort of thing
like to
on your
keep
website.
that
That'd be
knowledge.
cool.
Yeah,
I would
Or
love
maybe,
that.
maybe that's something that someone should pay for.
yeah. Maybe that's the premium
secrets of
content.
Asheboro, like a premium newsletter.
Yeah, you're giving me some
We need
Fundraising
we need
ideas.
a,
Now we just got
downtown
market-
Asheboro app, kind of like Uber, where you can get local transportation
Yeah.
and also find single stall bathrooms.
Yeah. Open single stall bathroom here. It's actually just a porta john.
and shady parking
Hey,
spots.
I'd take it. I would take it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we covered pretty much everything we needed to cover, Addie. That was.
Did you learn something new today?
I learned
Oh,
a lot of new
absolutely.
things today about. This isn't my hometown, but it's pretty much my hometown. I live
Yeah.
in towards Robbins.
My eye doctor is in Robbins.
Dr. Ward.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
That's where I got these glasses from. That's your
Neil.
cousin.
Yep. Neil
Dr.
is my
Ward is your
cousin.
cousin.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yep. You should have him on the podcast. I don't think he'd do it, but
You
Neil's
think
great.
he'd do it?
Well, he's
so
I-
busy.
I need to go
Ugh.
back to him because
Yeah.
I need to get my prescription again.
Yeah.
But he's booked for like
I know.
10 months.
I know.
I can never get back to him.
I know. You just got to get on the list and wait. But
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Neil's my cousin. So go to Robbins. I drive 45 minutes to the eye doctor just for Neil.
Yeah, that is far from Grace Chapel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I guess when your cousin's an eye doctor,
Yeah,
Oh,
you might
yeah.
as well. I mean, I don't get any like discounts or anything. My insurance is still, but
they
it's
don't
like,
give you, they don't
nice
give you the
eye
doctor.
friends and family.
yeah, you go in and it's like you're in 1995 when
That
you walk in his
building
office.
is-
It's
I
awesome.
love that.
Beige to the max.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's very
Covered in files of every person who's ever had vision in Moore County.
Yes.
Like, boom, there they are. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I think that covers a lot of things we wanted to cover today. Thank you, Addie, for coming on
Yeah,
the show
thanks for
today.
having me.
We had great conversation. I think me and Austin and the entire audience learned a lot about Asheboro, downtown Asheboro, and we're very grateful for the things that you guys, the government, both the government and you
And the private
businesses
partnership.
do for downtown area, and hopefully we see it continue to grow.
Oh, and let us know if you want to see the app of
yes.
single stall bathrooms and public
Single stall
transportation.
bathrooms.
You
And shady
you guys
parking
might can
spots.
help out with that, right? You do
Sponsored by
some-
Downtown
app
Asheboro.
developer
Yeah.
here for downtown Asheboro.
Yeah, that's the next internship. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. But that is episode 5 of Partners in Progress. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to like, follow, share the podcast. We're on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify, and all the rest. Clips on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook. Check out our Facebook page. But yeah.
Oh, do we have a link for Downtown Asheboro that we can throw in?
Oh yeah, we did.
DowntownAsheboro.com
Yeah.
or Downtown Asheboro on our
Do
socials.
you guys have any events you want to?
Upcoming
Friday night?
This is coming out late
Oh,
June,
yeah.
mid-June,
Mid-June.
July.
Mid-July.
There you go.
So at the end of July, on July 24th, we're going to have a yacht rock tribute group in Bicentennial Park, playing all kinds of fun yacht rock hits. I hear that's popular. And then in August, on August 14th, we'll have a Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute in Bicentennial. So you can come and have a good time. Those are our big summer events. We also have some Sunday night concerts, and those dates are escaping me. And I'm so sorry, Pam. But they're
those will
all
be
on
on
our
the
website.
website at
So downtownasheboro.com.
DowntownAsheboro.com.
Yeah.
So
we'll
check them out.
We'll give one of these. It'll be
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, right there. Check it out.
Or over here.
And check
back
check
over
out
there.
Addie. Addie's great. She
Yeah,
has
it's down
lots,
the street from
these
so
guys.
much niche knowledge you could learn from
Yeah.
and benefit from. But yeah, that's our episode. I think we're good. We're out.
Right
So
on.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye
Thank
for
you
now.
to our corporate genius sponsor, Walmart.